Music was divine since Genesis. Its blackness dates back to Egyptian hieroglyphs, from harps to sistrums that today we call tambourines. Time bleached our music, but I still smell chlorine. God gave Africans the commission to decipher rhythms of all nations, from talking djembes to historical griots, spitting words like airwaves. Slavery tried to drown our sound. We waded in the water, lifted every voice and sang spiritual hymns to Him. Our soul's pain painted musical notes the same color as our skin. Black. Scott Joplin's ragtime helped wipe away tears from savage conditions. Drums exploded like fireworks in the Caribbean. From reggae to merengue, bachata to compa, calypso, zouk, trois pour me répéter, bon foot fatigué. Afro-Cuban rhythm of tresillo jelly rolled into jazz. A syncopation, physicians in Finland, Britain and Italy confirm as therapy. The art is good for the heart and it saves lives. Talk about Black Lives Matter. The world is discovering the layers of antidote that helped us cope with yesteryear's oppressions to today's postpartum depressions. They pimped our conversation, didn't want to give us a piece of the American pie, so we cut off a piece of the sky to give us the blues. Blended muddy waters of black struggles and sorrows into songs. Thomas Dorsey endorsed blues and religious lyrics to create gospel music. We went from Jubilee to swing music, then swerved our hips to Lindy Hop. The music stopped on Billy's Holiday. America's strange fruit had blood at the root. A social political seed planted for artists to germinate their art forms into platforms to transform the world's evil norms, even generating international pressure to break the prison bars of Nelson Mandela. Ray Charles gave artists creative control to show that we can legally call our music our own. Motown music moved from the hood to world tours. The movement showed the world what blacks endured. Elvis Presley, Rolling Stone, and the Beatles rocked and rolled through the soul of Bo Diddley and Chuck Berry. James Brown got down on dance floors in the name of funk. Michael Jackson's story was our Cinderella, showing everyone we are the world and became king of pop forever. Gays and straight boogie down in disco club. Psychedelic rainbows spin on DJ Kool Herc's turntable as Africa Bambaataa rapped to the rhythm of rappers' delight, placing hip-hop on the map, a multi-billion-dollar commodity in today's global economy. Billboard 100 shows black music is the majority. We went from being denied education to hip-hop courses being taught in higher education institutions. Talk about changes. Even the Pope listens to Tupac through the Vatican's playlist. Who would have thought an African pulse would become black misery? Black exploitation. Black music, the heartbeat of the world.
Isn't she lovely? Is what I hear playing through my mind. With a confident walk, an ambitious stare, seems synonymous to when old folks would talk about their glory days. Some are too afraid to approach it, while others take her for granted. Whether you're a part of her inner circle or know of her, her resiliency and resolve are contagious. Sometimes it's like I can feel our memories dancing on the inside of me, on rhythm to a beat of its own drum, running through my thoughts, resting comfortably in my heart, knowing full well that at times she will break it. I used to enjoy her slowly like a cocktail, but now I'm binging on her presence. Our adventures are intoxicating. Maybe I should keep my distance to regain my sobriety, but even if I were 1,000 miles away, I would still feel it next to me, gazing deeply into my eyes to see how I intend to lead her. I wanted to know that I'm committed. One thing I love about it is that she doesn't discriminate. She treats everyone the same in spite of their circumstances. Her father's entrusted me with her heart. As a matter of fact, he wants to officiate our union. I'm overwhelmed with tears that he would even think to do such a thing. She said that a love language is quality time. So we spend our every waking moment becoming each other's oxygen. I inhale her struggles as she exhales my tenacity. She leaves me breathless, y'all. Even when we argue, I can still feel her nudging at my potential. Simply put, she's complicated. There have been times that she's been called out of her name. And at times, people have called her a bad hand. All the while, God's calling the both of us to him. But she prefers to go by her maiden name, Life.
This beautiful bright pearl is standing on the corner. She is standing on the corner of Liberation Street and Hard Knock Boulevard. She's nearly naked. Instead of envisioning the pilgrimage to Zion, she paces up and down the block known as the Valley of Weeping. And you can sense the dryness and the echo of her voice and the screaming tears falling from her eyes as the moans and groans deliver morning afterpear to stunt her joy while she stands on this cold corner. This bright, beautiful young pearl, celebrated mother, cute as the original Cushites, is standing by a bus stop. But she's not waiting for the bus. She's simply stepping out for some air, mind in despair, trying to make sense of how her own sons and daughters can join the foreigners to pimp and rape her. The little kids witness this insane process and turn around and commit the same incest. She wishes time would be so kind and wind its hands at a faster pace so that the last does become first. Then maybe then she can reunite with glory until her life and success becomes kindred again. Like Jesus crucified blood on the cross, she is paying a high price for a world of stubborn and priceless souls. And she knows that success is not in the attainment of things, but in the actual process you go through to get them. But she simply wants to know what has she gotten from giving birth to ethnicity and not have culture, giving birth to natural but have no resources, giving birth to talent but don't know art, giving birth to warriors but is surrounded by wimps, giving birth to intellect but breed ignorance. This beautiful bright pearl is standing on her corner, watching her offsprings daydream and sleepwalk their ways through the world with no history. Nameless faces in the crowd. She's calling out to Mahalia Jackson to help her sing her blues into gospel tunes of how some tried, others gave up instead of becoming a powerhouse of possibilities. And although her tired bones wants to bow down to the obstacles of life, she is willing to be positive about her failures as long as the future generations don't fail the way to success, jump the hurdles of disappointment and cross the line of greatness. But she is sad to say, but she's immune to the biased media coverage that loves to give her pandemonium worldwide exposure, only when she falls flat on her face in the mud from balancing on the edge of poverty. Her lifeless body is a standing zombie because her spirit has been split into millions and scattered out across the world. And she will continue to stay alive as long as she remembers that pain is not always punishment. Faith, patience, and endurance will restore her wealth like Job. And right now, her spirit is here, surviving. And not wanting pity because sorry ain't ever helped nobody. So this beautiful bright pearl, celebrated mother, standing on this cold corner of Liberation Street and Hard Knock Boulevard is a rising cadaver of hate. Flow. People tend not to appreciate their own, especially if the person is from their hometown. I'm the lowercase I in this capital country of America where capitalists capitalize on your demise when you're gone. The truth is, you're worth more underground. Well, if that's the case, then let my lungs collapse. Let these words run laps around YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, eBay, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Instagram until my syllables go viral until they lost in Amazon. Heroes are often overlooked in their hometown until they're dead and gone. But then again, maybe as a society you simply play your part because biblical prophecy prophesied this would happen. I mean, Jesus said if they did it to me and left me hanging, how much worse would they rip you apart for being part of my following? And sometimes it comes from your family. Those closest to you be the main ones to slice you. Treachery's reach has been popping cherries ever since time and sin were virgins. And I pray every day that I keep my innocence of believing in anyone who has the courage to follow a dream, to stand for something worth standing for, to believe that their commitment to a movement is bigger than their existence, even if it means they never get it down for their time, because their treasures are stored in a place where rust has no ruin and value has no decay, a place where prodigal princes and princesses are honored with royal feasts for each ounce of effort to fulfill a purpose and not falter at the feet of defeat. So to all my fellow comrades, when the father of lies send friends, family, and foes to trample your focus, use discouragements to diss your courage, remember that the father of lights has eternal bulbs that will never go out. When life's darkest hour hover over you, remember that you have an outlet in your heart ready to be plugged into heavenly FPL, Father of power and light. We never experience a blackout, so back out from expecting claps and accolades and a foreign angels passing through. This life will soon pass you, and your king in heaven awaits you with sense of the past, with sincere hearts who will celebrate your servanthood, because they know what it's like to be lonely and outcast when they choose to serve for Christ instead of credentials. Hello.